This guy's called the Standing Streamer.
Real stand-up kind of guy.
Hey, everybody, Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret, and you're watching Putting You Over.
Wrong button. Bow. There we go. All right, everybody. How's it going? What's going on? I am the standing streamer, and I can't, I can't seem to tweet anything. And this is going live. We're going to be calling Brian Pillman Jr. here shortly. Go on. We'll talk to Brian Pillman Jr. I have notes all the way. These date all the way back to June or July when I first had him on. June or July, they date all the way back. So hopefully, with these and some others on the dry erase board there earlier, or that I put on there, we can get through the interview. It has been a long time coming, and I will be glad to have him on when we do get him on. WrestlingNewsWorld.com right now. I'm also live here on Putting You Over as we normally do. We're gonna have Brian Pillman Jr. We're approaching 9 o'clock, and there's a part of me that wants to make him wait. There's this small part of me that wants to make him wait, but then there's a small part of me that's like, K-Dog, if you make him wait, he's gonna go.
There we go.
Oh, now
There we go.
That is much better.
Yeah, sorry. I was having some conversations with some people about business and gear and stuff, and wrestling gear, and I was trying to do it on my phone while also answering this call here. So it was kind of hard. What happened to my camera?
I mean, we've only been at this since
There we go.
June,
Oh gosh, I know.
so I can wait another 5 minutes. First of all, thank you for joining us tonight. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Excellent, because I have one mic for Skype and then one mic for the show. And obviously, you're not going to be able to see me in my beautiful face because my camera...
Oh no. What happened to your camera?
Well, my camera is being used for the Twitch stream. It's weird. I got a weird setup. I got 2 PCs, and it's just way too much. It's too much. So...
Yeah.
The camera's being used on the Twitch, so you just get to hear me, but I get to see you in that phenomenal hair. Which, by the way, you got cut today.
I did, but I got just the usual
Just
trim.
trim. You don't want to get rid of that mullet,
Yeah, no, never.
right?
Never.
Ever. Is the mullet more over than Brian Pillman?
What's that again?
I said, is the mullet more over than Brian Pillman Jr.? Sorry about that.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a good question. The mullet seems to sell more photos
Right?
than me. Yeah.
It is a tough question, and I'm glad that you didn't cut it. But the question I really wanted to start the show off with, and I'm really, really disappointed that I did not do that, was how did you do in the raid yesterday?
It was great. So yeah, for all your listeners out there, I do play World of Warcraft once a week with my guild,
Nice.
and we do a raid. And the raid was brand new content just came out, so it took us more than one night. So Sunday we had to kind of get through most of it, and then Monday when we were going to do the podcast, it got thrown amok,
Yeah, that World of Warcraft is way out of my league. I understand the raid aspect. I understand it's a team effort and it needed to be done, and I was willing to make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
But
Thank
anyway,
you for reschedule with me. It's one of those things where I had 35, 40 people depending on me, so I had to come in for them and make it all work out. But yeah, here we are now.
But you are here now,
Show.
so that's all that matters.
And we're live, correct?
We are live.
We're live, or are we recording? Are we live, or we
No, we're live on Twitch. Twitch.tv / the standing streamer. If anybody is out there,
streaming.
That's right.
I'm on here. Is my video on here?
Yeah. Do you want your video on here?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just just making sure I'm not just being put out there.
Yes.
For all these people to see.
The mullet agreed to being put out there. I don't know, Brian Pillman.
Yes. So that's the thing, you got to have the mullet on. If you don't, well, you're in trouble. Why don't I pull up your stream too? What's the stream?
That would be twitch.tv / the standing streamer.
And you're always standing, right?
I am. I've never sat down for the past, I don't even know, 5 years I've been doing this.
Really? You've never sat down?
No.
How do you sleep?
Well, this is the standing streamer. When I'm on. How it works. Come on. Keep it kayfabe.
No, but I'm just saying, how do you stand so much?
Well, I mean, when I started playing video games, I guess when I started streaming video games, my wife banished me to our garage at that time, and the only thing the only thing we had in the
banished the wife
banished.
Rank one banished.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What kind of games do you play?
I play sport games, FIFA, Retromania, wrestling is what I'll be playing here eventually. But FIFA, Madden, NBA, Call of Duty. I don't play World of Warcraft, but I have many friends that do. But I mean, so she put me down in the garage, and the only setup I had down there was a workbench, which was up to my waist. So the workbench went up to my waist, so I just kind of stopped sitting and started standing. And then one of my friends said, "Oh man, this was a while ago. I thought I would make it big on Twitch, blah 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 blah." And they're like, "You need to be the standing streamer." And I was like, "Okay, I'll do it."
You thought you'd make it big on Twitch?
I didn't, but others might have.
Who thought that?
Oh, a friend of mine.
And you thought you'd make it big, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So why do you think that?
Why did he think that?
Yeah. What kind of talent inspired that belief in him?
What kind of talent of mine? I was, at the time, Twitch was very young, and I was extremely like an open book and honest. Okay. And what you saw is what you get, what you got. Sorry, see what I'm talking about? What you saw is what you got. And he just thought it fit Twitch at the right moment, and I don't know. He saw something in me, but it didn't work out.
I'll tell you what. I like this. I like this setup. I like this stream you got going here.
You like this?
What do you mean it didn't work out? You're still streaming?
That's right. I am still streaming.
Got over 50,000 views on here.
Is that what I got?
And yeah, so there's 8, 7, 8. There was 10 people in here watching earlier. We just got started.
Yeah.
I just put it over on my Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter. So we got Twitter, we got Twitch.
We'll do it all, right? We got.
So you talk about you're married, right?
I am. I am married. I have 3 daughters. I have a small
Okay.
little wrestling faction.
Nice, nice. And here I am asking you the questions
Yeah.
that I was here to be interviewed.
Works great. This is the Brian Pillman experience.
How late are we going so I can let my fans know if they want to come in and chime in?
I've never kept anybody over an hour, but
Okay. Well,
so
yeah,
there
we'll
you
hang
go.
out for a bit.
We'll hang out for a bit.
Sorry I was late to the stream. We're supposed to start at 9, ladies and gentlemen. And we didn't get started till around 9:12, 9:10, 9:05. Who knows? But here we are now.
We are here.
Putting you over.
Putting.
That's show?
Am I putting? Yeah. One of us is putting each other over.
Well, I've been putting you over this whole time. So I think it's time for you.
Speaking. All right. I have this whole notes that I took in June, and I have all this, but I'm just gonna kind of wing it tonight because recently, this past weekend at Warrior Wrestling 8.
Yeah.
You did some phenomenal things. First of all, you took on Bully Ray, formerly known as Bubba Ray Dudley, but Bully Ray for us. And so, what was that experience like?
What, just facing Bully Ray?
Yeah, just facing that mammoth of a competitor.
Oh, well, I will say that he was a lot bigger when I first met him. He was a lot bigger than I thought he would be. He was huge. I mean, you see people on TV, they all, this, that, or the other, and then you see a guy yelling at you through his cell phone. He's not that big and intimidating, right? So you're popping off, you're talking all the crap you can, and then all of a sudden you actually meet this guy, and boy, he's a big mother effer, that's for sure. And excuse my language, I'm sure this is a family-friendly.
No, it's not actually.
Oh no, it's not. Oh
no,
shit,
you're fine.
This is adults and up. Oh, well, that means we're gonna be able to say whatever we want.
You can say whatever you want. But yeah, so I listen to Bully on the Busted Open Radio on Sirius, Fight Nation every Monday through whatever it is. But anyways, so based on your match, based on what I watched, he went over, in my opinion. Well, he went over according to the ref, but you got over and you sent him to the dentist. You sent him for emergency surgery. Did you know that?
Who was that, Bully?
Yeah. Did you know that?
He had to get surgery?
He had to get emergency root canal because you laid it in so stiff. And he said this on the show today. He was not on the show. He was not on the show Monday because he was getting emergency surgery because you laid it in so stiff on one of your shots, and it cracked a tooth or loosened a tooth or something, and he had to have emergency root canal surgery Sunday night. Sunday.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. That comes down to that's just when you're out there and there's a lot of emotion behind something, especially considering what he said about my father. There's a little bit of a chip on my shoulder in that match, and he did walk out of there with a bloody nose as well. I do know that much. So
he got busted.
Definitely something that I wasn't looking forward to doing. I wasn't trying to really be that physical with an older gentleman. I knew I wanted to get my hands on him, but he is at the end of the day, we are professionals. But yeah, I had to lay a few in there, and that's just how it is. I'm never stiff with a guy unless it benefits the business and the storyline, and it just benefited everyone in that building that night to see Bully Ray get punched in the fucking mouth, So I'm not gonna pull any punches on anybody, especially if they talk about my father. So it's just one of those things where people are gonna talk about this, talk about that, but at the end of the day, we're having a fight. You know what I'm saying?
You got to put your money where your mouth is.
It got down to business there. And he had some good words back and forth, some fun promos, but at the end of the day, he was just shooting on me and talking shit, and I had to shoot on him back a little bit, and that's just how it gets to be.
Now, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine.
So you are the son of Brian Pillman, the loose.
Mhm.
If anyone is watching this, wherever it's going to be, the loose cannon himself. Now, do you mind? You unfortunately lost your father at the age of 4, correct?
Yeah,
Now,
that's the story.
yeah, yeah. I
Looks
don't.
like we got some folks here. Yeah, we're asking some questions. That's good.
I do, and I'm gonna get to those MLW questions because I got some good ones at least against Fatu. Oh my lord! But I just want to touch briefly on a little bit of your background. So you did unfortunately lose your father at the age of 4, and they do say, and at least with the background where I come from in real life, that you don't actually form any memories until the age of 4. So my question for you is, what memories of your father do you have? And I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, it's a common question for sure. Um, One that I'm always kind of prepared to answer, but I don't. The answer is I don't have many memories at all.
That
So
sucks.
yeah, it's not that
Unfortunately.
I just say that. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember much about him. Maybe his voice, very raspy voice here and there.
Yeah.
I do remember his ankle or whatever being hurt, and seeing that as a kid was very hard to look at. He had screws and bolts and just blood just leaking out of his leg, leaking out of his ankle.
Mm.
And it was just like this guy was he had been through hell, he'd been through. It truly is a warrior's pathway when you're a pro wrestler. You're always on the road. You're always doing damage to your body. Sometimes I question, I'm like, is it all worth it? Right.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when I see those fans, they connect with me online and they connect with me at the show. And they remind me that it's definitely worth it because there's just so much you can give to the wrestling business. You can give it your body, give it your mind, you give it your artistic freedom, your creativity, or you can give it nothing and you'll get nothing back. But I like to think if I give it a lot, it'll give a lot back to me.
That's a phenomenal way to think. Um, when, let's see, how do I want to phrase this? So when did you realize, like, was wrestling something you wanted to do from the get go? Look at that.
Well, the get go kind of being like when I was like really young, like 11, 12,
Yeah.
13, it definitely started peeking into my mind that I wanted to be a wrestler. But it wasn't till I actually tried to succeed in life and try to be successful with the whole college route, really doing everything as good as I could,
Right.
is when I actually decided to become a wrestler. Like I had already kind of gone out and made a living doing like information technology and database work and stuff like that in that field because I've always been kind of a gamer
Right.
too. So I've always been kind of close to technology. I've been very savvy on it. Up until recently now, I'm starting to get a little old and get a little slow with this crap.
Well, your reflexes are gone.
All these gifts and all these things, and I'm like, gosh, I mean, being freaking 26 anymore, you might as well be 36. You might as well be fucking 40.
I am fucking 40.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But hey, you're on here. You've got yourself a nice stream. It seems like you have a good grasp on technology.
I do. I mean, I like to think I do. As far as gameplay goes, man, I can't play any of those shooters anymore. Man, my reflexes are gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
But all right, so you go the real life route, and you say to yourself, you know what? I'm Brian Pillman Jr. I'm a second generation wrestler. This is what I want to do. Where do you go from there? Where do you go to train? What's your first step?
Well, the first thing I did was I looked at my father's story and his career and where he trained. And clearly, the Canadian kind of training system works out pretty good because quite a few stars.
Oh, there's a few
from there and were trained there. I can name a couple on my hand. People that are from Winnipeg or Calgary and the like. and it was just it seemed very right to me. It seemed like it seemed very poetic for my career to start off in Calgary and just see how this thing goes. And it was truly a great learning experience. I trained with probably the best trainer that the world has as far as safety and performing the job at a high level without any riddles or tricks and trying to trick you into thinking that you got to do a certain thing or pay certain dues in a certain way. It was just clean cut. Here's how you wrestle. Here's how to do it safe. Here's how to take care of each other. You come in here for 3 months. I lived in Calgary for 3 months. You go in, and then Lance sends you on your way. You get his advice, kind of his recommendation, and you just start hitting the indies. You know what I'm saying?
Now, there's nobody more clean cut than Lance Storm, correct?
No, he's pretty clean. He's a clean cut guy. He's a real he's a real straight shooter. I like to say.
Yeah.
We call Lance a straight shooter.
Did he have any?
Sure.
Did he have any stories about your father, about on the road or anything like that?
They never worked together, really.
No.
They never crossed paths.
Interesting.
Maybe at a show or something in ECW or something, but I think Lance was literally a week off from meeting my dad, like a couple weeks. Like he had just came in after the whole angle and all that. So it was just yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
And I think everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
It does.
He didn't know that I was going to come to him, but I knew, when I first started after talking to Steve Austin and getting advice from a lot of people, I kind of knew where I wanted to train. So, and it helps everybody to have that, one more person kind of go through that Hart system. Lance Storm trained by the Hart family. There's just something to it. There's a certain prestige, a certain aura that comes with being a Calgary trained athlete.
Now, you just mentioned something which I didn't have written down. You got some advice from Mr. Stone Cold himself?
Yeah, Steve had. I talked to him about what schools to go to. We'd mentioned Les Thatcher, obviously, is a good one.
Yeah.
This area, but we had talked about him not being as big in the scene anymore and with training guys. So I was like, hey, why don't I go up there to Calgary and train with Lance Storm, and that seemed like perfect. And Steve really liked that idea. So Steve was like, that's probably your best bet, And look at Lance now. He's now working for the WWE, and he is exactly, doing
what he wants to do.
Developmental, you know what I mean? He's developing the next, because he's giving people advice that they wouldn't have. There's so much that he knows that he's adding to the production meetings or to the agenting of matches and stuff like that. That he's the best for it, and he's the best trainer that ever was.
So you get trained by Lance Storm. You're up there, the best trainer there is. It's close to the Hart Foundation. As close to being trained in a dungeon as you can get, I would believe. Although I don't really have any idea, but I can assume. Your first match was when?
My first match was December 31st, 2017.
That's interesting because I have written down December 18th, first match. And I wrote, what did I write next to that?
Oh, yeah, you might be right.
Alex King.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So, now, so I wrote this down, and I mentioned it. I think I commented something on Twitter or something. Alex King was your opponent, or Alex King was your name?
That was like my gimmick name that I came up with.
Oh, all right. I just want to write that down because I didn't. I don't want to, I don't want to screw stuff up, especially if I write this up. So that was your first match. So your first match, you come out. Do you remember who you took on? And where?
Yeah,
where was it?
Cody Hawk.
Who was it?
It was Cody Hawk at CWAI International. And we were building up it was like a church kind of based promotion, real family friendly promotion.
Yep.
And he was building up into a big title match, and they thought, well, why don't I just have a quick little part where I come in and for 4 or 5 minutes and then take a bump and leave, and that'll be my quote unquote first match. and just trying to protect me. I'm young, and we're seeing all these videos of me online doing all kinds of stuff. So it's one of those things where Cody was very wise to do it that way, and I put him over in a quick kind of build up match to build him up against his opponent, and then I never used that name again.
So then we fast forward to what, December 30th, I believe.
Yeah,
right.
December 31st against.
And that was with MLW, correct?
No. My first match was in Indianapolis, against a young man that goes by the name Little NyQuil.
Little NyQuil.
Or also known as Jonathan Wolf.
Wow. Wrestling is so great.
He's also a third generation wrestler, yeah.
Jonathan Wolf is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he was my first match. He was an 18-year-old kid while I was 25, or 24, rather. Yeah, I was 24.
Do you feel like you got in the game late?
Yeah, in a way. I wish I'd have started a little bit younger, maybe at like 18. But now that my body is going through so much now, I'm kind of glad that I started later, because I was more prepared for it, where my body might not have been ready for all that. A lot more injuries could have taken place in the past 6 years, as opposed to me right now hitting my high stride, hitting a good point in my career, a good beginning, while still having a healthy body.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me. How old are you? Can I ask that? Can I ask a man that? I can ask.
How old am I?
Yeah, how old are you?
Oh yeah, I'm 26. Yeah, sorry,
right,
I thought I already said that.
Well, you said you were 26 in that match, and I didn't know off the top of my head when that match.
No, I was 20. I was 24. Yeah, so I've been wrestling full time for 2 years now.
Nice.
So,
and you've been
yeah.
all right. So let's get into the wrestling now. So you've been wrestling full time for 2 years, and you're 26, and you are a 2-time Rookie of the Year winner. How does that even happen?
A lot of things took place for that to happen.
Is that
one of the biggest things was signing a television contract within my first year of wrestling, signing with Major League Wrestling, and the first Rookie of the Year award I got was through MLW. So being the biggest rookie on their roster,
right,
it was a natural fit for me to claim that title there. And going into, I think it was 2018, Ronda Rousey won the PWI Rookie of the Year, and I guess the magazine was yet to recognize me as a rookie yet. I was still building up my brand, but I would say 2019 was the year where I really wrestled full time all around the world and made a living wrestling. And I think that's where I kind of earned earned the award for the PWI Rookie of the Year. So it is, in a way, it is a back-to-back Rookie of the Year, just for different places, different companies, and different management recognizing my efforts.
That is a feat that I don't think will ever be beat, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So you can hang your hat on that. So let's we'll fast forward here to MLW, which you are a star, is how I would say it. You and Davey Boy Smith Jr. as well. A big shout out to Davey Boy Smith, because his dad's going into the Hall of Fame. So
yeah, and that's a huge thing right now. His career is on absolute fire, and I'd like to give credit to MLW for that as well, for making us such a pivotal vocal part of MLW. A lot of the show is built around the Hart Foundation and what we're doing and how we live our day-to-day life as second and third generation wrestlers. So for him to have that spotlight and be able to show off what he can do during the prime of his life, his absolute physical prime, as far as his martial arts and training goes. He's an absolute. There's nobody that compares to him. There's not even a close second place. Maybe Killer Cross is a close second
He's a
place.
beast. He's just
Yeah, maybe it goes Davy Boy and then Killer Cross or Tom Lawler.
yeah.
Those are the three guys I think of when I think of scary guys. And and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, MLW is doing a phenomenal job. If anyone out there does not know MLW, they're on, I believe, YouTube every Saturday night at 6, and they're on beIN Sports at 9 our time, I think, something like that. But just go to MLW.com and you can get all the info there. But yeah, so you, Davey Boy Smith, MLW. So I just recently watched you compete for the MLW Heavyweight Championship versus Fatu from Contra.
Yep.
And the match was phenomenal. And you were literally probably one distraction away, or I guess one less distraction away, of becoming the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what happens when you got everybody gunning for your spot.
I mean, literally, it was everybody. It was Contra, and it was those other guys, the loaded.
Yeah,
guys.
I would have thought it would have been that freaking Contra guy to interfere or cause a ruckus, but it was the Injustice tactic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cornered on all sides. I'm circled. And I'm a promising young guy in the business, just trying to make it the right way, And then you got all these people on all sides. It's just like my career, Everybody wants a piece.
Everybody wants a piece of Brian Pillman Jr.
Everybody wants a piece, and they're all gonna get it.
That's right. Get
Woo!
it. Speaking woo. How does MLW treat you as a wrestler? They seem good, right? I mean, Core Bauer's behind that, and he's a great guy.
Yeah. The treatment's been great. All travel's handled. Pay is great for people like me that bring a lot of value and stuff to the show. They really take care of their stars. Could we do more? Yeah, but that's the thing. We're growing. We're constantly doing more. Now we're adding pay-per-views into the into the resume. So it's exciting. It's a really exciting time to be an MLW wrestler.
It is, and I don't think MLW should rush anything. They do have the pay-per-views coming up. I believe I want to say one's in Philly.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. And you got the Heart Foundation. I mean, the historic value of MLW right now. You have Contra, which to me is a Samoan lineage. You have the Von Erichs. You have the Heart Foundation. It's just great. So if you're not watching MLW, you should be watching MLW.
Oh, absolutely.
Basically, is what I'm trying to say there. And they're treating you well. But let's talk about. So you put Bully Ray in the hospital. Let's say that. Let's just say you put Bully Ray in the hospital. I can live by that. But later on in that night, you took part in a match of attrition, I think is how the Warrior of Wrestling puts it. For the Warrior Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, which Brian Cage had to relinquish due to, I don't know, an injury, I guess. And what was that like? What was that experience like? The match, the outcome, and everything to come with it.
Yeah. So it was a complete surprise to me. I had no idea.
I didn't either.
That I was going to be a part of that, and I was they were like, yeah, can you be in this match? And I'm just like, dude, do you not know what I just went through? Like the battle that I just went through with Bully Ray, and I know Alex Zane was hurt, and they needed somebody, and obviously Brian Cage is hurt, so it's like, what can you do at that point? At that point, somebody's got to step up. A warrior has got to step up.
Warrior.
And that's exactly what it is. It's Warrior Wrestling, and we got a lot of great guys on the card. I'm absolutely honored. I'm beyond humbled to carry the championship, the Warrior Wrestling title, the big boy belt, the golden strap. the gold. I'm holding the gold now, and it's the Warrior Wrestling Gold. Takes place at Marion Catholic High School in Chicago, Illinois. But yeah, that's the tale of the tape. I think the type of match it was, the war of attrition, made me a better contender to win it because I had just gone through hell.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, if this guy can survive this, then he could probably survive this war of attrition, you know. And I think that's why I won. I think I won just because I toughed it out longer. You know, I took a lot more pain, a lot more beating than everyone else, but I still kept coming back because at that point I didn't know how to give up, you know. So
Yeah. Pillman doesn't give up. I don't think I've ever seen a Pillman give up in a match. But it's funny because I was watching that on Fight. I was even live that night, and I had no idea you were going to be in that final match. And I was just like, I was sick. I was sicker than a dog. And
you were at the show, or you were watching?
No,
it
I was watching it on Fight TV,
nice.
And I was streaming while I was watching it, and so I was watching it and I was streaming it, and I was sick, and they took an intermission, I think right before the match. Well, Fight TV did. I don't know what happened in the arena. And I was like waiting. I'm like, you know what? I'm so sick. I'm just not gonna stand here and stream anymore. And so I left. So I left the bar, and I wake up in the morning to like all this Brian Pillman like pictures, congratulations. Like, what the hell did I miss last night? So I look it up, and sure enough, yep, you were included in that last match because I had no idea either. Otherwise, I would have stood here and watched the whole thing, you know, because we had the interview coming up. But it was something to behold, you know. It was something else. But I'm just gonna. I got a couple more questions here.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good.
I hit I got the guy's question that said, "How did MLW treat you?" I got him in the chat. What is I think I heard you in another interview somewhere along the line when I was researching that you said each wrestler is like a business, and I was just curious to what you mean by that and how you want to make Brian Pillman Jr. a quote-unquote business.
Well, you know, I'm doing it right. You talking about how I'm going to make myself a business?
Yes, you're doing it right now. Correct.
I'm doing it right now. I'm out here promoting myself, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram or anything, you know, doing interviews here and there, trying to get my name out there. I'm only home one night this week, and then I'm back on the road tomorrow, traveling to Doha, Qatar tomorrow to wrestle Enzo Amore in a 15,000 seat arena in an entirely different country, an entirely different world that I've never experienced. So it's hard to fathom all that right now. But at the same time, you know, I knew this was coming because I knew I was going to put in the work. And like you said, make it a business. Treat it like you're a professional from day one, and not expect to have anything handed to me. And that's how I got to where I am right now, is by starting off and doing the indies. You know, not trying to look for a free job or a free ticket in. Always despise the free lunch. You don't want any free opportunities out here. Yeah.
You mentioned a name there, Enzo Amore, and I had a question about him that I was going to ask later, but I'll ask it now.
Ooh.
Does he really think he's going to beat you?
Well, it's one of those things where I got to give him credit. This will be our third match, so he has beaten me 2 out of 3 times. But at the same time, he can't stand up and throw hands with me. He can't out-wrestle me. He can't outfly me.
Well, he said he's been working out.
What he does get me is with the experience. Yeah, he's got a lot of experience. He was working on top in that old territory known as the WWE. And he worked with a lot of guys that taught him a lot of tricks. And that's how he always one-ups me. He always has something up his sleeve. Not even that, you know, not necessarily he's cheating. Maybe he's bending the rules a little bit to his advantage. Or maybe he's just distracting me on the microphone. But, you know, it's one of those things. I think I got him this time. I scouted him out. I know he can't stand up with me. So if I can keep him on his feet and outmaneuver him, I think I got myself a win.
It's gonna be great. Can I see that anywhere live?
Yeah, it'll be on Fight TV for sure.
Oh, will it? It will be on
Yeah.
Fight. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I had another comment about Enzo, but I can't place it now. I'm sure it wasn't.
So that'll be a huge match, leaving the country. I'm excited. I'm excited to start an international following with Qatari natives.
Do you feel like
Thanks to the internet, that's easier than ever, you know.
yeah, right? Exactly. Speaking of so you want to build an international following. What is Brian Pillman Jr.'s goals right now? You know, you're building that following, you're building that name, you're building that brand. You're an MLW star. You're literally one distraction away of heavyweight champion. But what are your goals? What do you strive? Can you see yourself in WWE? Can you see yourself in AEW, NWA, New Japan? What's going on?
I try my best not to stress out
right?
over the acronyms. You know, I try not to stress out too much about which acronym is on my check.
I'm just doing my due diligence.
Yeah. Somebody sends me a check and it says NJPW, or it says AEW, or it says WWE. Those are just letters to me, and the money is just numbers. To me, it's the connection with the fans, where the fans are at, where there's the most applicable fans for me that I can connect with. You know, I don't want to work for a company that I can't connect with their fan base. You know what I'm saying? So it's more like, it's not like where do I want to go? It's where do the fans want me to go, right? Where do the fans want to watch Brian Pillman Jr.? And the fans, like always, as history has proven, will always decide where you go and what company and who's going to succeed and who's not, because it all comes down to the viewership and the support from the fans.
I couldn't agree more. And just asking the question made me, I wasn't very happy about asking the question because in theory, it doesn't really matter. Like you said, they're just acronyms and they're just numbers. As long as you have your head on straight, which you seem to have your head on phenomenally straight, everything sounds great. You're about the brand. You're about Brian Pillman Jr. And it all sounds wonderful. So I'm like I said before, I never kept anybody over an hour, and I've asked all the questions I have. I mean,
Awesome.
I literally have one more question that says, Zicky Dice of NWA says his mullet is better than yours. I mean,
where does he say that?
I mean, he said it here live. I'm putting you over.
Wow. Well, Zicky,
I mean,
well, first off, you have a habit of interviewing mullets. And second off, Zicky Dice, shoot, I didn't even know you had a mullet because I don't look at other people's mullets.
Yeah, right.
Mine's so good that I wouldn't have went on a podcast and mentioned it. So it was mentioned to me.
Oh God!
People bring me on the podcast because I have the best mullet, not because
that is true. That is 100% true. I only wanted him on my show for the mullet. Anyways, before I let you go, Brian, you know what? You know what's odd? You know what's odd to me? I'm 40 years old, and unfortunately, it's odd and it's sad to me to say when I call you Brian, I initially literally like that get sad for a split second, and I don't mean to, and I'm sorry I'm bringing it up, but it's weird. It's weird to me, and I don't know why, and that's just my thing. But anyways, enough of that. I've never kept anybody over an hour. This is now hold on. This is now your time to shine. if I haven't done it enough, I'm now going to leave the microphone to you, and you can plug anything, you can promote anything you want coming up, and so go ahead, dear sir.
Thank you, my friend, and I thank you for having me on the Standing Streamer. I must apologize that I am not standing myself. I should have been standing the whole time.
It's true.
But I just left the gym, and my body's been going through a lot. So I want to rest these knees and get them ready for Enzo Sugar Ray Amore,
Yeah, that's true.
who, by the way, will be facing me at the end of Friday because we will be wrestling in Doha, Qatar. So say hello, ha, to Doha, because that's where we'll be Goha-ing.
Well done.
So yeah, follow me on Twitter, Flying Brian Jr., Instagram, Flying Brian 41. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Standing Streamer stream. The Standing Streamer stream.
That's right. Putting you over.
Putting me over. That's the episode. Because you're always putting guys over, and I'll put you over.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm glad we were able to get this, Brian, and keep up the phenomenal work.
Thank you.
Doing.
And
Peace.
you have a good one, my friend.
Yes.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
in any other way. Anyways, I had a lot of fun tonight on the interview. I hope it went well. I hope people enjoyed it. We will edit it. We will push it out to the YouTube. But live, there's just something about doing shows live that I can't get away from. That would be amazing. Anyways, as far as putting you over goes, just tune into this channel, twitch.tv/thestandingstreamer and wrestlingnewsworld.com, which I write for. That's about it. That big fat head back there, Dave LaGreca from Busted Open Radio and Sirius Satellite Radio, Fight Nation. We're going to have him Thursday night at 9 p. We don't know if we're having him on the phone, if we're having him on Skype, if he's going to sit here in the bar, but God damn it, he's going to be on the show. Anyways, we'll have to highlight that. I don't have a highlight button.